Hello dear traders, let us review what major economic events drove market last week. The US dollar index fell last week. US stock market indices Dow Jones and S&P 500 were almost flat while high-tech Nasdaq advanced to fresh all-time high. No significant economic data came out in US on Monday, with US stocks showing minimal movements. On Tuesday, the labor non-farm productivity for second quarter fell unexpectedly, which pushed the US dollar lower. The labor productivity has been decreasing for third quarter already, which is the longest since 1979. Despite weak data, the US stock market indices advanced, while Nasdaq even hit a fresh closing high. This happened on positive forecasts and corporate earnings of several high-tech companies. No significant economic data came out in US on Wednesday. The US energy stocks retreated together with global oil prices. Stock indices closed slightly lower. US dollar index continued falling for the second straight day. Some market participants note the divergence between US GDP growth year over year by 0.8 and 1.2% in first and second quarters of this year amid lower US corporate earnings in the same period. In the meantime, the majority of experts believe the earnings growth will follow GDP growth and not vice versa, which justifies stock market indices advance. No significant economic news came out in US on Thursday either. Nevertheless, the stocks and the dollar advanced on positive corporate data from several big retail chains, and the San Francisco Fed President John Williams said US interest rates may be hiked in the end of this year. On Friday, economic data were finally released in the US but came out negative. July retail sales were unchanged despite an expected rise of 0.4%. The Consumer Confidence Index by Michigan University for August rose less than expected. Producer prices fell in July 0.4%, which is their record fall in almost a year and may have a negative effect on US corporate earnings. After the weak economic data, the chances for the Fed rate hike this December slid to 43% from 47% on Thursday. The Atlanta Fed revised down the forecast of US GDP growth in third quarter to 3.5% from previously expected 3.7%. Nevertheless, Nasdaq managed to hit a fresh historical high, while other indices and the US dollar index fell just a bit. The main events of the coming week are the US inflation data, real estate data and industrial production due on Tuesday, and the Fed July meeting minutes on Wednesday. This was all for the week. Happy trading and see you next week.